This is Psalm 57. Be merciful to me, O God, be merciful to me. For in you my soul takes refuge. In the shadow of your wings I will take refuge till the storms of destruction pass by. I cry out to God Most High, to God who fulfills his purposes for me. He will send from heaven and save me. He will put to shame him who tramples on me. God will send out his steadfast love and his faithfulness. My soul is in the midst of lions. I lie down amid fiery beasts, the children of man whose teeth are spears and arrows, whose tongues are sharp swords. Be exalted, O God, above the heavens. Let your glory be over all the earth. They set a net for my steps. My soul was bowed down. They dug a pit in my way, but they've fallen into it themselves. My heart is steadfast, O God. My heart is steadfast. I will sing and make melody. Awake, my glory. Awake, O harp and lyre. I will awake the dawn. I will give thanks to you, O Lord, among the peoples. I will sing praises to you among the nations, for your steadfast love is great to the heavens, your faithfulness to the clouds. Be exalted, O God, above the heavens. Let your glory be over all the earth. How do you pray a psalm like Psalm 57? There's just so much here. We could rightly spend the next however long in praise and worship. We could spend the next however long just simply sitting and finding rest in the shadow of his wings. There's this wonderful description of our hearts being secure in his love. We could rightly talk about that, but instead I want to give to you 3 one-liners in here that I have found helpful over the last few weeks in reminding me to pray into certain things. There are 3 one-liners that I find are apt descriptions of troubles that we face at the moment. And the first is this: the storms of destruction. In the shadow of your wings I will take refuge, verse 1, till the storms of destruction pass by. It's a very apt description of this coronavirus. We find ourselves in the midst of a storm that is destroying millions of people's lives, is it not? So it calls us to pray for those who are right in the thick of it, physically, emotionally, spiritually, for the most vulnerable countries. It calls us to pray for those who find themselves in the eye of the storm. But then you got in verse 4, my soul is in the midst of lions, I lie down amid fiery beasts. Again, that description leapt off the page for me. I was reading this morning again about a 50% increase in phone calls of people who are suffering domestic violence and abuse. 50% increase. We've seen more deaths over the last few weeks than we have ever seen in this country because of domestic abuse. To say that people are living midst lions, lying down with fiery beasts, I think is a very apt description. It calls us to pray for those who face domestic violence at the moment. And then you have in verse 6, my soul was bowed down. Again, it's a very apt description of depression, anxiety, fear, the physical, emotional, spiritual responses to the troubles that we see. My soul is bowed down. We're in the midst of potentially a mental health pandemic in response to all that we've had to do over the last few weeks and months. So you have 3 apt one-liners that capture for us the storm of destruction that is the coronavirus, the fiery beasts that is the domestic situation of so many people, and souls bowed down, which is the mental health issues that we all perhaps face at different points in our lives. So how do we pray? Well, again, verse 3 provides us with a wonderful one-liner to pray. God, would you send out your steadfast love and your faithfulness? So have a read of Psalm 57 and let it take you where it takes you. But I invite you to pray for the storms of destruction, the fiery beasts, and the souls that are bowed down in the context of the God who loves to send out his steadfast love and his faithfulness. God bless.